final third.
I think Pepe's so coachable. You just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.
Atletico, they can go again. They can play another 180, and Atletico is not beating. Chelsea are not beating them. Chelsea are beating them. Sorry, Atletico were pathetic, and it was appalling by Simeone. It was appalling by all of them. It's tiresome now, and it's very frustrating because we look at that Chelsea fans when they got that tie, and the confident ones were like, "Yeah, we'll do Atletico. We can do this." Us, other fans were like, "There's no way in hell you guys can beat Atletico." At that time, it was
imagine telling Chelsea fans in December when this draw was made that you're putting 3 past Atletico. Come on, man. Like, I can't lie.
Atletico didn't score.
Really disgraced me.
Atletico didn't score.
Disgraced me this time, fam. They have scored, like, they put up, I think, across the whole tie, they put up maybe 7 minutes of threat.
Of highlight,
I would call it dominance.
Of XG.
7 minutes.
7 minutes
of threat. 7 minutes of, okay, we might be on top here. Couldn't even give us a solid 10 over 180 minutes. Diego Simeone, I love you, my brother, because you represent what I represent. But you can't give me that and expect me to, come on, man. Luis Suarez.
CJ, nice to have you here.
CJ in the building.
Nice to have you here. You couldn't even see him?
No. Oh, I didn't even know it was in the call, you know. I was still on the me and you screen. I'm finished.
It's funny because you hosting happy host, and look at you. CJ's here the whole time. I'm hosting next week.
Listening away here. Just listening away. First of all, Shem's the one that admitted him. He didn't even say anything. Nasty. But I will introduce my other co-host. We've got CJ in the building with us for the Champions League European REARview show. How you feeling, CJ?
Not too good after tonight, I must say.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'm not the biggest Chelsea fan, and
it's why we don't pay for BT. Because what's this?
I mean, I pay for BT. You know,
I pay for BT as well.
All right, this is why we use CJ's BT.
Literally, this is why we all on the password, fam.
Yeah, you little scammers. But now, just listening to what Grant said, I just have to piggyback off that. Like, bro, do you remember when we done a review about a month ago? When the first match was played, and we talked about, do you believe in Atletico and Simeone? Can you get them over the line? This is that. Mm-hmm. And me and Shemi said, no. We said, you know, you can't keep running it back same way. Like, you've never got the results that you wanted playing this style of play in the Champions League. You've got to finals. You've done this. You've done that.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work. This is the worst group of players, and you're still trying to run it back. You got Agent Suarez, 34 again.
Suarez had yards on Rudiger. Yards on Rudiger.
Rudiger gave him the calmest
one, and you're flying.
Calmest leading.
Like, you got that as your main man up front. You got João Felix that you just haven't given him any confidence whatsoever. He's playing in a system that doesn't suit him. Do you know what I mean? Like, at least with Griezmann before, Griezmann was thriving playing in that position, but Griezmann's more of an off-the-ball kind of player. Like, he doesn't like to be in possession. He makes the third man run. He plays off the striker. João Felix is someone who wants to be in possession. He wants to be creative. He wants to play in the space between the midfielders and the defenders, that little space. And you're not giving them those opportunities. It's like, you look at them, they're far from what Simeone's dream is. And for him to insist in playing this way, it's a shame still.
Last but not least,
going to bring Shem onto the stage.
Just quickly, thanks for that, bro. Just or not, Simeone, fantastic manager and what he stands for, getting a team playing as a unit, very compact defensively. They weren't even that, because obviously the worst crop of players. But I just want to put a little thing out there. Sal's regressed. Under Simeone, he's regressed.
That's the thing. I don't even think you can say he's regressed. They've stayed the same. Like, they're the same players. They're literally the same players. I don't think they've really regressed. I don't think they've gone forward. They're just like, they're still going to run for Simeone, but you need them to do more.
Sal out here running. Just running.
Cardio.
But when you look at
when he signed a
When you
7-year deal, we didn't just think he was a runners. We thought he could play some. We thought he can kick a little bit of ball.
when they burst on the scene, Koke, Saul Niguez, you're looking at them, you're thinking they're the next batch of Spanish midfielders that are gonna come in. You know, we'll have a nice transition.
Proper nice ball.
Yeah, we'll have a nice. They're nice players. You know what I mean? Saul Niguez, I remember him scoring that wonderful goal against Bayern in 2016 en route to the finals. You're seeing he's more than just a runner. He's someone that in possession, he's good. He can dribble. He can carry the ball. He can be creative. But then you look at him now. Koke's just like literally
ain't got the legs.
a plank.
He ain't got the leg
of wood.
He just ain't got the
He's
leg.
like a plank of wood. He can't move. You got Saul Niguez. He's anything creative is out of his realm now. It's all about running. It's like
It's so
these players, man.
scary.
He's
Banks.
taking
This
the
is your
life out
guy.
of them.
You say too long under Simeone.
Banks, this is
See?
your guy.
It's my guy. It's my guy. I grew up on running. I grew up on the cardio. I grew up on the tackle. So you have to understand how hard this is for me. You have to understand that when I'm seeing my guy Simeone and these tactics ain't working no more, it hits personally. It hits
The players
I
that
grew
look
up on
good,
tackles.
the players that look good, Lodi, Loriente.
Lodi was getting work though.
Today, man.
Yeah, it was terrible today, but he looks good under he's been looking recently as Lodi, Loriente.
Okay.
Loriente is the only player that could hang his.
Liverpool gave him a career. I'm sorry. Liverpool.
No, but he's been balling in La Liga.
Even today, Loriente was probably their best player today.
Well, man.
He was probably their best player today, though.
He was the best player today.
Yeah, that doesn't say much, though. That doesn't say much.
It doesn't, I suppose, yeah.
Oh, Black saved the first goal as well. Come on.
Word.
Yeah, he's the better. I remember Anderson making a mistake against AC Milan literally last week.
Chill. We don't remember that. Yeah, just moving on quickly on the Chelsea thing. They're in the quarterfinals now alongside Manchester City and Liverpool. Where do we see if they get, in fact, I'll pitch this. If they get PSG in the next round, who's obviously one of the harder teams to face in the Champions League, how do we see them matching up against a top team like that?
I feel like Chelsea's a force to be reckoned with in this tournament because so far what Tuchel's shown us is that Chelsea's now harder to score against. Their main issue is that still, even though they scored 2 today, attacking-wise, they're not that good. But defensively, I feel like they're quite resolute, that 3 at the back now. They've got the pace, they've got the strength, and they've got their organisation is there. So they're forced to, and that's what you need in Champions League. You just can't be leaking goals, especially because away every goal matters in Champions League. So I feel like they can go and have an away performance and not leak goals, and then bring it back home, and then maybe draw one or win 1-0 or something. They have it in their locker. They're dark horses, but I can't put my money on them. I don't want to see Chelsea prosper. I don't want to see them prosper. So.
Don't want to see them prosper. I think one thing that we neglect when we talk about Chelsea under Tuchel is they haven't played any good teams. I'm sorry, going to Anfield when Liverpool, everyone's going to Anfield. I'm a Liverpool fan. Everyone's going to Anfield and winning. Liverpool are in great form. You look at them against. They played United at home. They didn't even lay a glove on United. I'm sorry, I don't see Chelsea.
But who else? I'm saying, who else can they play? Because really, all that's
they can play City. They could have played City.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying. In the Champions League, I don't see them facing City and winning. I don't see them facing PSG and winning. I don't see them playing against Bayern Munich and winning. Yeah, they look solid, but Rudiger, let's be honest. We've watched Rudiger. This is his 4th season at Chelsea. Yeah, we've seen him under 4 managers. We've seen him under Conte. We've seen him under Sarri. We've seen him under Lampard. He was good. He was good in a free. Yeah, he was good in a free when he played under Conte. It was under Conte, I believe. He was good in a free, but
if you were the free, it means your defenders ain't good enough.
Yeah, exactly. And Mass doesn't say he's probably least knowledgeable pundit. But that's on the right things that he said. Like, these man aren't stopping Mbappe. They're not stopping Neymar. They're not stopping
a tie we ain't seen often. Chelsea, Real Madrid. You take it.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Real Madrid ain't the same.
Back in form. I'm putting my money on the Royal Whites.
Los Blancos.
Los Blancos.
I want to see
But
that though. I can't lie.
that's actually the perfect segue for what I want to ask next. So another tie in the round of 16. Real Madrid managed to ease their way past Atalanta. 4-1 on aggregate was the final result. Obviously, Benzema just putting in another virtuoso display, got his opening goal, and was just feeding the rest of the team. But one of the main stars, I could say, in that match was actually Vinicius. Even though he didn't score, he was still a danger and a threat during that match. But something that's been leveled at him for so long while he's been in Europe is the fact that that end product still hasn't really developed. How far do we feel that Vinicius can go as a player? Do we feel like he can still be the world-class talent that made Real Madrid pay out 35 million for him when he was a 16-year-old? Or is it just that final product isn't there? You can't say it yet.
He's 20 years old now, right?
20 years.
Yeah, Vinicius can still be world class. When you look at the ease at which he beats players, it's in his locker. Do you know what I mean? But he's so raw. He's so raw. It hurts. You look at some of the things he does. He gets like that run. Do you see Ramos's reaction when he missed that touch? You're looking at him.
Quick.
He's so quick. He's so quick, and he has good feet as well. But you know, a lot of the time he leaves a lot to be desired in front of goal. But at 20 years old, listen, he's not even close to his prime, innit? Like he's at a top club. He's with a manager, one of the greats. That he'll bring that out of him, I'm sure.
There's nothing Vinicius has shown me from a beaten man that says he's better than the 3 boys or the 4 boys in the Premier League that are his age mates. Nothing. So if we're gonna say he's world class, then them lads are world class. Vinicius,
we didn't say he's world class.
No, you said can be world class.
Can be.
Vinicius,
but they can be too.
Vinicius, if we put him in the Prem rankings, 1, 2, 3, 4 in no particular order, Foden, Saka, Neto, Greenwood, Vinicius is not better than them.
The thing is,
Go through.
I was gonna say the thing is what you see with those other guys is a bit more polish and a bit more of an end product.
Is like, how you know a good young player though, CJ. You can't just keep telling me. No,
but you can't teach. The thing is, you can't teach. Like when I see Vinicius dribbling, like sometimes he does a crazy move, but then he flops the next bit. But you can't teach what he just did to a defender. That's the thing. Like that little bit. I agree with you in terms of. I feel like the amount of time he's been in Europe, like he should be a bit more. Like the game should have slowed down for him a bit more. Like when you see him, you can see like he's done the move, but he still doesn't know what he's gonna do next.
Vinicius is either 2nd or 3rd season.
I think it's his 3rd season.
It's his 4th.
See, it's his 3rd season, definitely. So
3rd season.
And he's playing, and it's not like he's getting trust minutes. He's playing games. What have we really seen in terms of maturity? He did start early. Let's not get started at 17, but with a young player, how we know, and how I say a young player is world class, because most young players that play in professional adult teams already have raw talent. For you to be 17 and to be playing with men that are like 25 years old, your talent is out of this world. Cool. So we push that. You all have talent. Maybe his talent is the highest, but what sets you apart and why you're getting picked from the under 16s and the under 21s is because your decision making is very, very mature. Do you get? And yes, that can be coached, yeah, but I feel like you can have less talent and have very good decision making, but with a lot of young players, they have a lot of raw talent and not very good decision making, and that's why they don't go far. Whereas the four Premier League boys have good enough decision making and good enough finishing and stuff. Vinicius is very frustrating to play with, as Benzema and everyone always says. He's very frustrating to play with, but he's cold. It's a thing. I don't know how to describe it. I tried to use the Sterling one, but Sterling, that got coached into him. Sterling was the raw talent, and then it got coached into him, the decision making. And it's very rare that they go hand in hand. Do you get what I mean? So it's better to have a head start with the decision making, and your talent is where it is, and then the two go.
I like that Sterling comparison, because I feel like Sterling was more refined at this point in terms of his decision making. But even still, he took like the Sterling we see now compared to the decision making he was making when he was still a young boy at Liverpool and his first couple years at Manchester City. It's come on leaps and bounds. It's come on like things like finishing, ball striking, getting into the right positions. these are things that he was taught. He was definitely taught this because at the beginning, the dribbling would be crazy and he could get past people. Then that last bit, he'd flop it and you think, damn, if you made that right decision, if you slowed it down. Another person that never got that.
Talent. You see every game, you see the talent. And you know, around that time, obviously, let's move injury to one side. But at the time, it was who's better, Sterling or Chamberlain? It sounds so crazy now. It sounds so crazy now. Who's better, Sterling or Chamberlain? It was that. Do you get? And now look at the trajectory of the two players, where they've both ended up, and they both had peak talent. So Vinicius,
I can't lie. I'm still have faith in him.
Got some stock.
I got a little 20, and he's beaten if he just switches it on. Just need that one person to really. I feel like he's gonna meet a coach during his career that's gonna be the one to really bring it out of him. And when he does, they're unlocking a monster. They're unlocking a monster.
What's Zidane doing?
Zidane ain't got the time.
Zidane
ain't got the patience. We know this though.
Zidane's waiting for 2022 so he can take over France. Like everything he's doing right now is just purely off the vibes. That's it. Just purely off the vibes. He's calling up Pogba. Yo, bro, stay fit. I know they're testing you in Manchester. Stay fit. I got something for you in 2022. Saying Varane, don't worry, you're still gonna be my defender in 20. That's what Zidane's doing. But Vinicius, I feel like during his career, he's gonna meet a coach. He's gonna play with a coach that really hammers down what he needs to do in order to take that next step. Because you're right, compared to some of the other young players, that IQ step, that decision-making step, he isn't even close to them right now because he constantly gets himself into good positions, but constantly messes up that final bit. Once he does that, unlocking a monster. But we'll move on to, just quickly, Manchester City versus Gladbach. I think it ended up 4-0 on aggregate, if I'm right.
2-0 on the day, 4-0 on aggregate.
2-0 on the day, 4-0 on aggregate. KDB, howitzer, I'll call it that. Left foot strike, Ras that top bins. Do you predict Pep is going to play against City in the next round? This is usually where it falls down for him at the European stage. Do we feel like Pep is going to play against City?
I think it depends who they face, you know. Because I have a really sneaky suspicion that City are going to get one of the English boys. And if they do get one of the English boys, I sincerely believe he's going to overcomplicate things as he does. At the end of the day, when you look at the competition in the Champions League this season, it really is Bayern and City, and then Bayern, City, and PSG, and then the rest. And I feel like if Pep doesn't do what Pep has done in recent years, I don't see why City can't win the Champions League. I honestly don't see why they can't win the Champions League, but it will be.
Sorry, go on.
Now I was just gonna say it's up to Pep, and also one thing that we kind of like overlook from last season's Champions League tie for City against Lyon. Yeah, Pep overcomplicated things, but you can't account for players missing open goals. Do you know what I mean? You can't account for Sterling missing that opportunity. You can't account for that. So the players got to show up too.
Where City's been successful and City's fallen short, Sterling will have at least 5 open goal misses.
And you can't account for that.
No, every season it happens. When he's having a world-class season, it happens. When he's having a great...
But what's Pep meant to do about that?
Yeah, that's not his fault. I understand, but I feel like the ties are going to go like this. Chelsea, Dortmund, Liverpool, Porto, and City, Bayern.
Chelsea's got links inside of UEFA. How's he?
I don't know.
How you reeling off the ties already?
I'm not trying to talk. You understand? PSG and that.
I wrote mine down as well.
That league will get Real.
Wait. Let me hear Sham's predictions again, and then I'll go to your predictions. Who do you say is going to play?
Chelsea, Dortmund, Liverpool, Porto, City, Bayern, and then it will leave PSG and Real.
Let's hear James.
I got City, Liverpool, PSG, Dortmund, Porto, Bayern, and Real, Chelsea. That was my prediction.
Real Chelsea is literally the tie we never have.
Literally, I haven't seen that tie. I ain't
I
seen
don't
that
wanna see
time
it,
in the 21st century, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to see it though. Not this version
know.
of Real Madrid.
The-
Not this version.
You're trying to see Vinicius
What
go
do you think
against
it's
Reece
gonna be?
James.
What do you think it's gonna be?
People. I told you I ain't got no people in UEFA yet. You lot clearly
Alright,
got
just
links
quick,
on the inside.
before we cut, who's winning the champs?
He's winning the champs.
Bayern repeat.
I'm gonna go for the Royal Whites.
Swear
We'll go Real
down.
Madrid.
That's just your love. That's your love for Real Madrid.
1% chance, 99% faith. 1% chance, 99% faith. We keep moving. Live, who do you think is winning it?
Pep brings on the biggest. I don't even want Pep to bring on the biggest because it's City, but I just don't like the way people talk on Pep's name. Do you get? But I really do think Bayern might 2-peat, or we're gonna have like a mad final, maybe Bayern Dortmund, something stupid like that.
I don't want. We see Bayern beating up Dortmund in the league.
Bayern biggest. Bayern's bringing on the biggest again.
All right, people. That's been the final third European REARview show. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's the final third on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. And make sure you follow us on the socials as well. That's at the final 3RD_. It's been your host, Banks. I've been joined by CJ and Lavish. I hope to see you next weekend.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so coachable. You just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.